Now go out from the doomerism, cause that is doomerism. Let's go into funny shit. Funny shit that happened. And this funny shit, if you haven't heard, is this Miles Morales as Thor comic. Now the reason why this is funny is because it is like very like racist, but it didn't try to be racist. It wasn't like that racism where it's like they said like the N-word straight up to your face or call you a slur or something. That shit isn't funny. But it's like that racism like white people do. That's like, bro, why did you think that was a good idea? Why? And it's that racism. What could be pretty funny, but yeah. So does this comic right here. And let me read you some of these panels right now because this is hilarious. So, Midgard, long ago, old. Okay, but before we get into this is a what if comic on Miles Morales if he was Thor. So this is the what if comics that Marvel likes to do, and I feel like these like what if this superhero was instead that superhero. I still read comics, but what if series is like could be like a bastion of like creativity. But doing this, what if this superhero was that superhero is like the most boring, the most bland, the most uncreative thing you can ever do with the what if comics. And I hate them. I don't want to read them. Like half of the what if series that the animated series that Marvel produced on Disney Plus. Like the worst one, what if Black Panther was Star-Lord? Why? And that was like the worst one. The writing on that was so bad. But this is what this came from. And it was written by, it says a Mexican writer, Yudi Mercado. I'm Mexican as well, but he is half Jewish. So, you know, he is white. His white side definitely made this. Because this reeks of saltine Caucasianism. And I'll read you this. Midgard long ago, old Yggdrasil spread. Then the world tree grew in Brooklyn instead. Immersed as we traverse the universe, from the vast multiverse comes this dope verse. The stars shine upon the realm of the gods, forge mighty battles with his squad. Where's the lightning go after wars are won? What victories lie for the son of sons? He got style and he got flair to boot. With his kicks, you know he's in hot pursuit. Old enough to know that he don't know all. He wants to have a ball before the fall. All his dreams rain from the clouds above. He brings the thunder. Best believe it. Bruv. Now, there's a couple issues with this. Just this one panel. Now, the first issue is that I haven't read any like Thor comic. I read comics that Thor is in. I have yet, but I have like listened to a lot of Thor comics and listened to people talk about Thor comics, and none of them say that they rhymed or the narrator, you know, puts in like these hard ass bars here. So it just makes it feel like just because he's black, they're just like, oh man, I'm gonna make this narrator rhyme. I'm gonna write these hot ass bars for this motherfucker right here. So that's the first thing right there. The second one is, you know, just the language. This dope verse, his squad, and then bruv. Now, if you don't know, Miles Morales is from Brooklyn. He is an American boy. He is an American man. You know, he's from Brooklyn. He's where Biggie, Jay-Z, Talib Kweli, and Mos Def, formerly known as Mos Def, now is known as Yasin Bey, where all of them come from. Bruv is a British thing to say, specifically more a black British thing to say. I think the black British people made that word. So it's very weird. And like to have bruv, have the narrator say bruv, yet when Miles Morales is not British whatsoever. So it just shows like, oh, black people in Britain say bruv, therefore black people in America should also say bruv. No, that's not how that works. No. But there's more. It gets pretty bad. I think it gets worse. But also, like, his design isn't actually that bad. Uh, he got his, what does it say over here? His kicks. He got style and he got flair to boot. With his kicks, he got his nice Jordans or whatever the fuck. I'm so surprised since he's from New York. I'm so surprised that he didn't give him Tim's. So there's more. Let's read more. Of all the 5 realms, Asgard is his hood. For Miles, you can see he's just that good. The Rainbow Bridge takes him to his quest. The Bifrost line goes north, south, east, and west. From Jormungandr to the Wrecking Crew, he stuck Gillenbursty in the Asgard Zoo. If you don't know, in hip hop, a lot of people say like, "Oh, I'm from the Brooklyn Zoo," so that's where he fucking took that shit from. Even though, if Asgard was Brooklyn, they probably have like way different languages. They'd probably be a lot richer than they actually are in Brooklyn. Or I guess, even though these black people are gods, they can still, I guess black people will always have to be poor in this guy's eyes. But he is low key when he wants to be. Name on marquees like his uncle Loki. Bars. Hold up. Let me I gotta look something up.
Now listen, that's called motherfucking bars, nigga. You know nothing about that. Now
that is exactly what this writer thought everybody's reaction to those bars was gonna be. And no, they're just very, very fucking Dr. Seuss as bars. Odin's son, he's the son of gods and kings. Got so many wins. Check out all those rings. I have yet to see a single ring on him, unless these are rings, but they're more like bracelets. He has no rings on him at all. He's formerly known as the Prince for sure. His subjects and friends, they just call him Thor. And there's more though. There's more. Like this one. Of course, since he's black, he had to have his Mjolnir, his hammer, graffitied, and which is a weird thing to do because graffiti is such a like poor, I don't say a poor culture, but that comes from like a low income culture. Low income people usually are the ones that start graffitiing and have like that art. And if you're Asgard, you have to be rich. There's no way I could see a poor ass Asgard. Like it was this was always Asgard. Like I can see it being poor. Like new Asgard was destroyed and there was like a new Asgard, but this isn't a new Asgard. It's just old Asgard, and Asgard's always been there. It's always been in Brooklyn. But there's more. Time to spin these hits, and he hits a frost giant. Now that was a banger. Right up to your face and diss you. This is just minstrel writing. This is straight up just a minstrel show in comics. And then of course this is Frost Giant, who has this. I don't know what this hairstyle is. I don't know any hairstyle. I don't even know what my hairstyle is even called at all. But it has like this black hairstyle, and that's not it though. That's not it. Of course, again, the Brooklyn Bridge with the Bifrost. Of course, it just all. The Rainbow Bridge is all graffitied as well. Clearly, the writer had no idea what graffiti culture is. And, like, no black person now, even back then when MC Hammer and Hammer Time was a popular thing, no black person ever said, like, Hammer Time, like, unironically. Or ironically, I mean. But there's more. Mjolnir. You know how Thor always says by Odin's beard? Because, it's a funny thing to say. By Odin's fade. Yeah. It's actual dog shit. It's so bad. It's so bad. Let's see if I want to see if anybody else has any more down here. White So true, so true. And then this is the writer right here. Apparently he written this. I never heard of him before this, and he's only written one other um Marvel comic before. And it's crazy because this guy's Mexican, and if you don't remember, you remember that one meme that was like, "Oh, he has the exaggerated swagger of a black teen," which is funny because that was also directed as in Miles Morales' like character. The guy who wrote that, I think he had a Spanish last name, so I think that guy was Hispanic as well. What's up with these half Hispanic people, like saying some weird ass like shit against like black people and especially against Miles Morales? Like, do they forget that Miles Morales is also Puerto Rican? Like, he's also a Latino. So why not just make him, instead of like so like stereotypical black, why not just write him like to be like stereotypical Latino? You know, he's still Latino. He's still 100% Latino. He's an Afro Latino. So why not just make him like a Latino? Like, if it's like stereotypical, you can hide behind like, oh yeah, but I'm Latino too. So it shouldn't be like that big of a deal. It'll still be cringy as fuck, but it wouldn't be like as bad as just like writing him the way he was written. But then he has apologized for this, and I will read this to y'all. I've taken the last few days to step back and listen, and I acknowledge your criticism for my recent issue of What If Miles Morales Was Thor. And I lived a different experience through my own Jewish and Mexican background. I still know inauthenticity hurts, and I'm sorry this failed on that front. I appreciated hearing and learning from my Black and Puerto Rican comic peers and hope to use this moment to help promote better authenticity. I'm also going to donate what Marvel paid me to the Brooklyn Book Bodega, which works to build literacy and get more books to kids in New York City, which ultimately is a good thing. But don't forget, all of this had to go through Marvel. People looked at it, proofread it. I know there's more steps to that also as well. Like, another person also had to look at this, and they all accepted it, and they all was like, you know what? This is based. Let's drop it. Let's drop I'll say not new racism. This is old racism. Let's drop old racism again. But yeah. I do want to talk about one more thing else about here, and it's the Odin's Fade thing. I don't have a picture of it right now, but you do see Odin, and Odin's bald. So why the fuck would you say Odin's Fade if that motherfucker has no hair? And Odin in this comic has a big beard. So why change it? Why not just say go by Odin's Fade? It's just like, I mean, by Odin's beard. Is having a beard specifically a white thing? Is not. But yeah, this is just funny racism. Still racism. But it does make me laugh. And we should never forget. We should never let Marvel forget that they posted this absolute dog shit. But yeah, that's all I wanted to talk about here. If you liked the video, please like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, comment down below. I very much appreciate it. And leave Miles alone. Please, leave him alone.